Thanks for joining us on Plus TV Africa. My name is Felicity Ezewike. Tragedy was averted yesterday at the UVA Pension office of Church Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, after a fire broke out on its premises. I was at the scene of the fire yesterday and filed in this report.
We're here at the UVA office at Church Gate, Victoria Island, where there was just a fire incident. The fire service, as you can see behind me, are still here. The situation has been brought under control. The entire wing of the generator, where they have their generators, has been burnt beyond recognition. But the good news is that no life was lost. Nobody was hospitalized. We do have an eyewitness, Philip, who witnessed the entire incident and tells us what actually happened. Philip, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Could you tell us what happened?
Felicity, actually it was a shock. We were all in the office and we just heard everybody should go out, everybody should go out. And by the time we came to the scene, we discovered that it was a major fire. Now, what really caused the fire was there was a diesel tanker supplying fuel into the diesel tank and suddenly sparked. And with the spark, it triggered everything. And the diesel tank of UBA building exploded. And on the road, we had so much diesel on the road, so people started running helter-skelter.
So I just hear boom. So when I hear boom, I have to rush. So we rush there and we see the fire actually was burning everywhere. So we was trying to save some cars there, but we didn't have the keys because some of their staff was at up. So we was trying to rush. So we just have to break some cars and then try to push them out.
While still talking to eyewitnesses, we noticed some people scooping diesel from the gutters just in front of the UBA bank. We spoke to a few passerbys on their thoughts on this development.
It's a big risk anyway for them to be stupid diesel. It's a risk to them and to the people entirely over there. Because to me, I don't really see any idea for them to go there. That place should be kept safe for the safety of the people.
I believe that people that is around here need to survive in their life, and they have seen in a situation that they need to make their money. So for them to gather here is not a problem for their own life, living life. It's even much better you see them hustling this way than you see some of them entering the street to thief or any other thing.
Thank God no life was lost. My name is Felicity Ezewike, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
The Publicity Secretary of the APC in Benue, Mr. Akula, has resigned both his membership of the party and the position he occupied. In a letter of resignation dated Wednesday, July 18th, addressed to the state chairman of the party, Akula claimed the APC-controlled federal government did not represent the interests and yearnings of the people of the state. He regretted the unprovoked killings of rural farmers by herdsmen and the displacement of farmlands and the plight of the internally displaced persons, IDPs, in the state. He added that some of the reckless comments by top political appointees of the federal government had exacerbated the killings. Members of the Social Democratic Party SDP in Osun on Wednesday elected Mr. Munirudeen Atanda as their candidate for the September 22nd governorship election. The party primary, which took place at the SDP Secretariat in Osogbo, was held amid tight security. Although a former deputy governor in the state, Senator Iyola Omisore, was also listed as aspirant on the ballot paper, he and his supporters did not participate in the exercise. Chief Ademola Ishola, the SDP chairman in the state, told party members after the exercise to disregard the insinuation that another faction of the party exists in the state. The primary election was witnessed by officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission and the National Orientation Agency. Still in party politics, the All Progressive Congress primary to elect its candidate for the forthcoming Osun governorship election has been postponed from Thursday, July 19th till Friday, July 20th. The party announced the postponement in a statement issued by Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, its national publicity secretary, on Wednesday in Abuja. The statement added that a meeting between the primary election committee, chaired by Governor Abdulaziz Yeri of Zamfara, and Osun APC stakeholders would hold in Osogbo, the state capital, on Thursday. You would recall that Mr. Adams Oshiomhole, the APC national chairman, on Monday, July 16th, said the party would adopt a direct primary to pick its candidate for the Osun governorship election. Ahead of September 22nd governorship election in Osun, the police on Wednesday warned political parties against flouting the Electoral Act. The warning was issued in Osogbo at a stakeholders meeting organized by the National Orientation Agency in collaboration with a German foundation, Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Mr. Fimiha Adeoye, who issued the warning, also urged political leaders and their followers to conduct themselves in line with the Electoral Act or face the wrath of the law. Adeoye, who is represented by the Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations, Mr. Muhammad Abu, said the command would not condone any act of indiscipline or lawlessness. He warned the youths not to allow themselves to be used as political talks, saying anybody caught would be prosecuted. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo yesterday attacked President Muhammadu Buhari again over the spate of killings in the country. He spoke in an address read on his behalf by former Osun State Governor Olagunsoye Oyinlola at the National Summit on Insecurity and Killings in Nigeria, organized by the Northern Elders Forum, Afenifere, Ohaneze Ndigbo, and Pan-Niger Delta Forum in Abuja. Without offering solutions to the killings, Obasanjo said the government had been given one unrighteous and unacceptable justification after the other. Speakers at the summit include Professor Ango Abdullahi, Ohaneze President John Nwodo, PANDEF leader Chief Edwin Clark, Afenifere leader Chief Ayo Adebanjo, former Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba, former Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko, and a host of others. And from South Africa, a Nigerian, Mr. Martin Ebuzoeme, has been killed by unknown assailants in the country. The president of Nigerian Union in South Africa, Mr. Adetola Ulubola, confirmed to the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja on Sunday that the victim was killed in Yeovil, Johannesburg, around 7:30 p.m. on July 12th. The killing came barely 24 hours after the visit of South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa to Nigeria. Ramaphosa had, during his visit on July 11th, said that the killing of Nigerians and other foreign nationals in the country was an act of criminality. Plus TV correspondent Benga Abodowa spoke with Mr. Ulubi Jide Sunday, researcher on security and strategic studies of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, to get his reaction on the killing of yet another Nigerian in South Africa.
Of course, the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa has been cordial for a long time, but unfortunately, between 2018 till now, there has been a hiccup between Nigeria and South Africa residents because of killings here and there and the likes, mostly because South Africans believe that their jobs have been taken away from them and their enablement and what have you. That most of the jobs that South Africans cannot do, Nigerians are hell-bent on doing it. Nigerians are not being targeted. Why is it that Nigerians were killed then if they are not targeted? You see, I will not say that South African environment is hostile to Nigeria, because since establishment of relation between Nigeria and South Africa from 1960s has been cordial. You look at the South African apartheid period and era, it has been cordial. But most unfortunately, migration from one place to another cannot be ruled out. Nigerians are everywhere, all over the world. It is not always that it is Nigerians that are committing the crimes in South Africa. Some other Southern African countries like Zimbabwe, and so on and so forth, they are part of the criminality that is taking place in South Africa. No, we should not boycott it, because there's no country in the world that can be an island. The ShopRite and what have you, MTN and the likes. You know, we have business in South Africa. They have business in Nigeria too, at the same time. But of course, when the outrage or when the rampancy is getting high, the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Nigeria, in person of Godwin Ayama, and the South African counterpart, the Minister of Cooperation in South Africa, they came together and had a meeting, and they formed what they call the Early Warning Unit. The Early Warning Unit comprises Nigerians and South African nationals, which are hell-bent on protecting jungle justice in the society, because if you look at some parts of South Africa, mob justice is very, very common. Very, very. to the extent that once somebody is just cracked in the head a bit and is not dead, the rest just attack. They don't want to know if it is what is done is right or wrong or whatever. The person that was killed in South Africa, it was neglected on the floor before, but even the policemen in South Africa, when the person was asking the policeman for help, they neglected him, and he died in the hospital later. Of course,
more than 2,000 Senegalese migrants have gone missing in neighboring Mauritania after their boat ran aground while en route to Spain's Canary Islands, Mauritanian authorities said. Regional Police Chief Mohamed Abdullahi Otelab said 26 or 27 migrants are thought to be on land hiding in caves, or they have secretly entered the port of Nordibao, Mauritania's second largest city. They had been traveling with another 75 Senegalese, including 2 women, who were intercepted on the way to the city or near their boat, which washed up on Mauritanian shores after 5 days at sea, Otelab told a news conference. He also said several passengers were treated for extreme fatigue while awaiting repatriation to Senegal, expected by Thursday. The first commercial flight from Ethiopia to Eritrea in 20 years landed safely in Asmara on Wednesday, greeted by dancers waving flags and flowers, cementing a stunning rapprochement that has ended a generation of hostilities in a matter of days. As Ethiopian Airlines flight ET0312 made the momentous switch from Ethiopian to Eritrean airspace, Chief Executive Tawad Gebramariam took to the onboard intercom to remind the 315 passengers that they were part of history. Families separated from loved ones since the start of a brutal 1998 to 2000 border war sadness the dignitaries on the flight. When we return, we will bring you news from the White House, the latest on the Brexit plans and more. Don't go away. The White House has insisted it believes Russia will still pose a threat to the U.S. amid confusion over comments made by President Donald Trump. Mr. Trump appeared to disagree with U.S. intelligence when he responded no to a question about whether Russia was still targeting American elections. Later, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said Mr. Trump was saying no to answering more questions. It comes amid a flurry of criticism over his recent comments about Russia. The UK's new Brexit secretary will hold his first talks with the EU's chief negotiator in Brussels later. Dominic Raab was appointed when David Davis resigned in protest at Theresa May's plans for post-Brexit trade. It now falls to Mr. Raab, part of the Winning Leave campaign in the 2016 EU referendum, to continue negotiations with the EU's Michel Barnier. The meeting comes as the European Commission is instructing other EU states to prepare for a no-deal Brexit. Israel's parliament has passed into law a controversial bill that defines the country as an exclusively Jewish state. The Jewish nation-state bill downgrades Arabic as an official language and says advancing Jewish settlement is a national interest. It also states that the whole and united Jerusalem is its capital. Israeli Arab MPs condemned the legislation, but Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised it as a defining moment. The bill, backed by the country's right-wing government, says Israel is the historic homeland of the Jewish people and they have an exclusive right to national self-determination in it. Business Report comes up after this. Stay with us. Hadi Sirika, Minister of State for Aviation, has unveiled the name and logo of the new national carrier, Nigeria Air. Speaking on Wednesday in London at the ongoing Farnborough International Air Show, Sirika said the government would not own more than 5% of the airline. This is an important day for Nigeria, the largest economy in Africa, largest population, GDP of around $500 million, and the only true aviation player in West and Central Africa, he's quoted as saying. According to the minister, the airline will have flights on 81 domestic, regional, and international routes. Operations are scheduled to begin in December 2018. If you're wondering about how to invest and what to invest in, our business correspondent Irene Ubani has you covered as she recently spoke to Charles Fakro of Foresight Securities and Investment.
Charles Fakra of Foresight Securities and Investment brings us to speed on when and where to invest.
There is no best or worst time to come to the market. It all depends on the objective of that investor. And you must also recall that investment in the stock market, it's a long-term perspective. So any investor who is coming should have a long-term focus. The issue of short-term should not come into play. When you have a long-term perspective, that is when you are going to get the benefit of investing in the stock market. At the same time, you must also do a profile. Get close to your stockbroker who will do what I call a risk profile, so that you understand the kind of risks you can take and the particular sector you can invest and get the benefit you are expected to get. So the oil and gas sector has performed so well despite challenges, and of course we know that oil is the major revenue for Nigeria, and the Nigerian government is doing a lot to ensure that the operations in this sector is well arranged, is efficient, and is smooth. The oil and gas sector is a good one to go, but of course the risk is very high. So if as an investor you can take that risk, you can get involved in the oil and gas sector. I also advise investors to look at the financial service industry. You can also invest, and also the insurance sector that is still in its infancy stage. And I know that the regulators are doing a lot to ensure that that sector takes its rightful position in the Nigerian capital markets.
Irene Ubani, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
We go back to our correspondent Irene Ubani to bring us up to speed on the activities from the Nigerian Stock Exchange yesterday.
The Nigerian stock market has again closed on a downward trend, making it the third consecutive decline since the week began. All-share index dropped by 0.61% to close at 36,736.67. On the list of top gainers were international breweries, which advanced by 3 naira 5 kobo, PZ 1 naira 5 kobo, Dangote Sugar 35 kobo, Cadbury 35 kobo, and UBN 2 kobo. Top decliners were Guarantee 2 naira 65 kobo, Okomu Oil 2 naira, First Bank Nigeria Holding 1 naira, Nigerian Breweries 5 kobo, and Oando 5 kobo. Making the list of top 5 trades in today's stock market were Transcorp, Zenith Bank, Fidelity Bank, Oando, and Access. Equity capitalization stood at 13.312 trillion naira, with a total of 3,854 deals.
Still ahead on Plus TV News is a roundup on entertainment and sports. Stay with us.
In entertainment, popular Nigerian pop star Two-Face is suing his former bandmate from Plantation Boys, Blackface, for 50 million naira over the writing of African Queen and Let Somebody Love You. The lawsuit cements their already long-standing feud, where Blackface claimed Two-Face stole his songs without giving him credit. The accusation led to a social media war before the legal counsel of Two-Face instructed Blackface to apologize for all of the defamatory statements directed at Two-Face or face legal action within 7 days of the receipt of the letter. Now, Two-Face and his manager have filed at the Ikeja High Court. Blackface took to social media to share a photo of the writ and to inform all that his legal team has filed for his defense, after which he will release his album titled Rising Sun. Rapper Rugged Man has taken to Instagram to share steps on how to differentiate between authentic and fake SARS operatives. Apparently, Rugged Man met with CSP Peter Gunner, and the CSP explained to him how to spot fake SARS. operatives, as a lot of people impersonate the squad to carry out bad acts, and he thought he should share it with his fans and followers. Firstly, the presence of number 039 on their face cap and jacket, including a red scorpion, and secondly, the units of SARS are allocated 2 rifles, so if any group of SARS is seen with more than 2 rifles, then they are fake. He also gave out helplines to call if anyone falls victim of SARS to SARS brutality. Fictional superhero of Wakanda Shuri is to get her own comic book, which will be published by Nigerian-American writer Nnedi Okorafor. Reports say Marvel Comics will be releasing a spin-off book series focusing on the mind of the tech in Wakanda when her brother goes missing whilst trying to take the reins of the kingdom. The journey leads her to choose between the comfort of her lab or the people of Wakanda. The artist involved in the comic book is Marvel Comics' Leonardo Romero. And that's it on entertainment. The very best in sports right after this.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. My name is Udoka Njoko. The Nigerian Referee Association has called for President Muhammadu Buhari's intervention on the leadership crisis rocking the Nigerian Football Federation to avert FIFA's impending ban. And the call was made by the referee's leadership after an emergency meeting with the leaders of Nigerian referee coaches and National Association of Nigerian Professional Footballers in Abuja on Wednesday. And the president of the NAR, Tade Aziz, who spoke on behalf of the group, said the president's intervention is necessary to avert the looming FIFA ban. And Tade Aziz also called for an emergency congress of the NFF to address the problems in the country's football. He said it will open the space for all interested persons who want to contest for any position in accordance with the NFF statutes to do so. And Super Eagles B team midfielder Kelechi Nwakali, who is still under contract until June 2021 with English Premier League giants Arsenal, has officially joined Portuguese side FC Porto on a season-long loan deal, and the Portuguese giants have an option to make the deal permanent in 12 months' time. And the former Golden Eaglets and Flying Eagles captain and midfielder had been sent out on loan to Dutch second-tier team, and he made his debut for Super Eagles Team B in an international friendly game against Atletico Madrid in May, where the Nigerian team lost 3-2. And Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp says that his midfielder Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is expected to miss the majority of the 2018-2019 season. And Chamberlain has not played since damaging his knee ligaments during the Champions League semi-final with Roma in April when tackling Roma's Alexander Kolarov at Anfield. And this also led to him missing out on a chance to feature for the Three Lions at the just concluded World Cup in Russia. And he's capped 32 times. He moved to Anfield from Arsenal last summer for £35 million. And that's it on Sports Updates on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Thank you, Udoka, for all the sports stories. And that's our news roundup of events. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. So join us again. My name is Felicity Ezewike. Have a great day.